What's up, Trekkies? Hi, so we've got a couple things of news. Again, console, I love giving you guys news. I love updating you on things, but to be honest, it's a little dated, and I'm just like, I already did videos on this one. However, they're not from like oh so long ago, and there's a card fully explaining everything for this next bit of announcement, because again, well, first, I was sick. Yeah, that was Wednesday, so yeah, nobody really knew. That was Wednesday, and then Saturday again, or Sunday, I just like had like an aftershock. So my voice is still a little bit, not regardless, brain's still a little there. Faction 9-pack. You guys remember when I talked about it was just like, you got Federation, Klingon, Romulan, Tactical, Science, Engineering of sorts. You have 9 ships, and that's the bundle. You can buy the Federation, the Klingon, or the Romulan. You can't really buy all the Tacticals because that's kind of silly. Or you can buy any specific ship you want, or you can buy all 9. You can buy any single block, or you can buy any vertical line in this case, or you can buy the entire block. And that's on Xbox One and PS4. They're the Allied Pilot Escorts. These ships will be available individually, 3-ship faction bundles, 9-ship mega bundle. Yeah, just explain that. Each cutting edge escort, So for Starfleet, you're getting an upgrade to the original Tier 5 Andorian ships. As Klingon, you're being introduced to Lethian escorts. And then for Romulan, they are Dewan escorts. However, I've heard so many people pronounce that differently. I keep hearing in game Dewan. So they all have a commander tactical / pilot. So if you're really into using the pilot specialization, here's a ship that you can fly with commander pilot, and actually is pretty cool. Again, I'm not going to go over all the stats. I'm not sure I went over them all that last time. They're all very similar. Shield modifier 1.1, 5 in the front, 2 in the back, 2 devices. The Lieutenant Commander slot is the one that shifts around based on if you want a tactical, a science, or an engineering variant. So with console variants, all of these have 5 tactical. It's just that your combo of science and engineering, so like your tactical oriented ones have 5 tactical, 4 engineering, 2 science. Your engineering ones have 5 tactical, 3 science, 3 engineering, and your science variants have 5 tactical, 4 science, 2 engineering. See how that works in a good... These bundles are great because they work in grids if you think in grids of sorts. The ships themselves look good. There's a link below in the description if you want to look through all the fun pictures and see which ones you like the most. They all come with pilot maneuvers as the ship mechanic, which is WASD, I believe, and allows you to like, and then you back up and you can burst forward. So great if you're really close up to something and it like blows up and you just and like fly away and back up a little bit. It takes a little like I'm not sure. I don't have any pilot vests. Universal consoles may be equipped in any console mod slot, but may only be used on these 3 bundles of ships. The wing torpedo platforms, very similar to the Andorian ones, where your wings come off and they shoot torpedoes. They will be modifiable by torpedo spread. Will then apply torpedo spread 1 to them. Torpedo high yield of any rank, high yield 1 to them. Passive chance, crit hit, and projectile and crit severity with projectile weapons. So you like your torps. One of your weapons in the front should probably be a torp, just because you're getting boosts with projectile weapons because of this one. You don't have to focus on it, but the gateway trap spawner. I think I've seen this one in use in the game. It creates a gateway trap 2 kilometers from the foe and an exit gateway near you. Lasts 10 seconds, draws things towards it from 5 kilometers away, and they suffer kinetic damage. If they're pulled within 0.2, they teleport to the exit gateway, and then all systems all subsystems offline for 4.5 seconds. Not sure if that's increased by drain expertise. Could be control expertise. I forget which one system's offline. I'm taking a wild guess it's draining. Used to be subspace decompiler, but we changed to a new system. And then the neurophasic disruption field. Constable provides a passive boost to flight speed, resistance to slowing effects. Once per 10 seconds, affecting up to 10 foes within 5 kilometers of targeted foe. Electrical damage, confused for 1 second, 25% chance to disable for 1 second. Set bonuses, 2-piece, increase accuracy and flight speed. 3-piece, reduce recharge time on all of these consoles, and allows the wing torpedo platforms to utilize rank 2 instead of rank 1. That's cool. The traits. When activating any foe-affecting engineering bridge officer abilities, aceton beam, for instance, this is reflected by an electrical damage over time effect that slows the afflicted foe's engines. Improved gravity well. One of the reasons I was thinking of buying one of these ships, just so I could get this trait. Duration of gravity well doubled, 20 to 40 seconds. Recharge time of gravity well reduced by 20 seconds. Primary target of gravity well suffers minus 20 all damage resistance rating for 40 seconds. The Alliance Hyper Cannon is the experimental weapon. Federation gets a phaser one. Klingon gets disruptor. Romulan gets plasma. We'll also be able to unlock from the dilithium store Andorian phasers, Lethian disruptors, and Day 1 plasma weapons. When you get the respective ships, you unlock those in the store. The Andorian ships will have access to the previously released Andorian vessels. Day 1 and Lethian, regular. You don't get special bridges. Sorry. I think that's that for console. Again, there's a card and a link below to let you guys go watch the video. There's a card for the video. There's a link below in case you don't get cards. And then there's a link to this thing. So it'll be that first, then the video, and now we're moving on to PC, which has something most of us will understand, like we will retrospectively see, I saw this coming. The Constable specialization. Console, pay attention, this is coming for you guys whenever season 14.5 comes out. Apparently 14.5 is coming out in just a few weeks, probably for us after the Breach event is what they're talking, probably what they're meaning. Captains will soon be able to follow the inspiring footsteps of the dedicated keepers of justice that do their part to make the Milky Way galaxy a safer place to call home. The Constable's specialization is a new take on specializations. Unlike previous ones, you will have which have been either entirely space or entirely for ground, or had a number of abilities that affected space only or ground only. Every single ability purchased for Constable specialization benefits you no matter where you are. Wow, they actually made a hybrid specialization. Centers on the unique mechanic, your antagonist. Once you've maintained the same target for 4 seconds, they will become your antagonist. Once you have an antagonist, they will remain your antagonist until you go too long without targeting them. While they remain your antagonist, abilities from the Constable specialization allow you to be more effective in combat. You'll suffer reduced effects from other foes, and you'll be more effective at taking your antagonist down. With the introduction of a new secondary specialization, we are increasing the cap of specialization points up to a new max of 195. Players that exceed this amount will instead receive dilithium ore when they max out their current specialization XP bar. Side note, when you get raw experience or specialization points as a reward, those do not count. You do not technically level up when you get those, your counter goes up by 1. So that does not count for dilithium. But when you max out your bar, that will count. I currently have like 15 saved up because of various other things. Yay, featured episodes. As long as you have the Constable specialization active, you will gain 10 to 25 armor penetration versus antagonist. The bonus starts at 10 once you have a single ability purchased, the specialization and the specialization active. It scales up by 1 with each ability purchased, with a total of 25 once the specialization complete. So this is a 2-tier, because it's 15 points. Starship trait. As with previous specializations, purchasing the Constable specialization will unlock a new starship trait. After 15 abilities are purchased, you will unlock Arrest Starship. Arrest significantly reduces cooldowns of your bridge officer abilities when you defeat your current primary target. Once unlocked, this trait can be made active on any starship you own by adding it to the starship trait slot. Abilities that are within the trait specialization tree: close the gap, increase movement speed when facing your antagonist. That sounds pretty cool. Confiscate, your weapons gain a chance to remove buffs from your antagonist. Nice. Your antagonist's health regeneration is decreased by an amount that increases the longer they've been your antagonist. Ow! This sounds pretty good if you're wanting like to use this as a part of your, like if you're science and you're this sounds pretty devastating if you're one of those science that doesn't do a lot of upfront damage but does a lot of dot damage and you wear your targets down. Heavy drain builds do that. They basically knock everything offline, and weapons and other EPG stuff does the damage over time. And this just, wow, their hull regeneration decreased by the longer they've been. So the longer you target them, the faster they die. Interesting. May want to pick up that Vanquish trait, by the way. I'm not sure. I think it's in the Dyson one. Your target gains reduced damage resistance rating, increasing with their health lost below 50% health. Basically, they take more damage the lower their health is below 50%, starting at 50%. I think at maximum it happens at 10%. Anyways, next one, Singular Focus. You gain increased damage resistance rating, 2 damage. That does not come from your antagonist. Teardown. You gain bonus all damage versus your antagonist. Nice. Well, that works. This is going to be definitely one of those things that I like the fact that they're putting things in benefit players that use prolonged combat, such as Constable, or those prolonged engagement phaser array thing. There's a lot of people that, sure, they like to blow something up super fast and do just everything mess tons of damage to it. There's also people that fight by attrition. This could be good for tanking because you're going to be targeting one foe and you'll be orbiting around it, and beam boats probably work really well because you're targeting something longer. But usually people are so much on DPS they don't want something living for 4 seconds. They consider it an affront to their ancestors or something. I don't know. I don't understand this. Things die. I generally AoE things down. So while things live for like up to 10 to 15 seconds, that's everything living up to 10 to 15 seconds because they all sort of destroy each other. And that seems that. Let me hit refresh. Is there any news that came out at like 10 o'clock? No. Anything on console? No. Okay. So yeah, if you guys need any clarification on this stuff, you can comment below. I don't know anything else for season 14.5. I've checked the upcoming content from the official Star Trek Online wiki. All it says, it is confirmed there will be a 14.5, but the content is not confirmed as this was edited when. But considering we had something involving Odo at the end of that last featured mission, the Constable specialization is like, saw that one coming. Kind of. More or less, I'm not surprised that it is coming, considering. So, anyways, I will chat with you guys next week. We'll see how everything's going. And see if we have any more on 14.5 before March ends. Bye!